This question has come up multiple times, and I have a very clear point of view on it, which is no. And that's not just because I'm biased, but it's because here's why. So, if you I think Gartners and Forresters have talked about this, and in particular, I think they've done a good job of describing why no code actually becomes more relevant in the age of, for some reason, they're calling it Turing bots, which that's what they refer to for like AI to generate apps, whether in code form or no code.
All right.
It's a little like nerdy, but I'll take it. But Turing bots, that's more of the AI for building apps experience. It's going to be a big thing. But the problem is, if you have AI that generates code output, if you're not a coder, it's very hard to inspect that output and either take that and edit it. It's like, I don't know if you've tried, but like, as a programmer myself, like I've tried using AI both in the Copilot form where it's very integrated into your IDE, but also like just going to ChatGPT or, Claude 3 Opus and prompting it with like an ask to like generate me a chunk of code for something. And obviously the newest models are getting better and better at generating bigger and more complex chunks of code. But it's still extremely frustrating if the code comes out, you have to run the code to see if it works. And then if it doesn't, if you didn't actually understand how the code worked, to try to only use natural language to give it feedback to get to the desired output, it's like an extremely frustrating experience. And so, first of all, I think the fact that no code by definition means that the output of the Turing bot, the AI builder, is actually in a form that a non-technical user can understand. So the very person who's asking the AI to generate the app can then understand fully its outputs. I mean, I think that's something we take for granted with language, is like when it generates a language output, of course you understand it. Of course you can edit and tweak it. If it's code, and if you're not a coder, then you're kind of out of luck, right? And in fact, even worse, like it could be generating output that is secretly doing bad things, right? Like the data is getting, actually corrupted, or it's actually like leaking your data, or like whatever the app use case is, it's performing in a very hidden way, which any programmer knows. Like it's quite common. Like those are the worst kinds of bugs, and also probably the most common types of bugs that are like the bugs that don't that escape very immediate visible detection, but actually are kind of quite pernicious, right? And like, those happen all the time, and AI is just as susceptible to generating those types of bugs. And I think even if you try stuff where like, you have a more agentic approach where, you have the AI kind of auto GPT style come up with a plan to build out a more complex app, and it builds each part independently, tests them, combines them. I think we're a very, very long ways away from getting to the point where the AI can do that well, can do it thoroughly, and not have those hidden behaviors, and also be able to do it sufficiently well enough for any like meaningful app, right? And frankly, once I think we get there, I think we've actually developed, by definition, we will have developed the building blocks of AGI. So as long as we haven't had AGI, I don't think we will have Turing bots or AI code writers that are able to fully automate in a satisfactory way the building of a complex app, which, I mean, the B2B apps that we're building for our customers, or enabling our customers to build, get increasingly sophisticated and complex over time, right? And like, we'll power the end-to-end content production, supply chain, really. I mean, it's almost like ERP software, but for a digital output instead of like the traditional physical supply chain. It's that level of sophistication as like SAP, but for a much more agile digital workflow that we're able to power. And like, there's no way that AI is going to be able to do that by generating code without human inspectability, editability, and ultimately iteration with the AI.